Man should not live by bread alone. Fulfillment comes from a relationship with God. Now, that's the relationship we always should be working on. If we don't have one, establish one, strive to make it better and maintain it. And I can say this, there's no better relationship you're ever going to have. Welcome to Elliot's Loft, where we put together where when black men talk. I'm Mark Elliott. By now, you should know I'm your host. I want to thank you for giving us an ear over the years and giving us an ear currently. I'm amazed sometimes some of the locations that are listening. And I'm also amazed, and I really appreciate folks going back and listening to older shows, man. There's a show we did years ago. She's somebody's daughter. That show is always being listened to. It amazes me, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much from my heart. I want to salute Pastor Jamal Bryant. This pastor, a few months ago, stepped in when Target decided to basically walk away from his DI program and also walk away from doing some business that they were doing with our people and decided they were going to basically bring those to an end. Well, he spearheaded and stepped in front and started a boycott. And I love that for many reasons because a lot of times we forget how we got places during the civil rights movement by boycotting. And another part about it I love is that I think sometimes we forget we work for our money, but once we get our money should work for us. And if we're spending our money carelessly and not basically paying attention to the power of our money, that money's not working for us. So I salute him for basically bringing us back to that mindset to where we basically have to pay attention to where we're spending our hard earned cash. And at the same point, for the most part, waking us up to the fact that our money brings us power. And if anything else in this country that folks pay attention to, it's the power of money. And we have plenty of it, and we should be utilizing it correctly. And since this has happened, for the most part, Target has basically been hit hard. Their stock prices have gone down. The CEOs basically had to take a pay cut, and they're kind of now trying to go back and pedal and do some things differently. So, Pastor Jamal Bryant, we salute you, boss, for standing up front and saying what need to be said, and basically taking the action, allowing us to follow. And from what I understand, they're moving on now to adding Dollar General to a boycott as well. So let's get behind that and do what we need to do, folks. I know a long time ago, you always heard, where are the good men? Where are the good men? Where are the good men? There are no good men out there. I heard that for years. There ain't no good men out there. There's no good men out there. Well, let's talk about that for a second because in reality, a lot of times when I think about that, there are no good men. Where are the good men? One thing they may not have been thinking about and not totally understanding, good men desire peace. They desire peace. Now, there's many different levels of peace, and peace comes in different forms, but a soft voice that speaks to him, a warm home to come to, not a voice that looks to turn a conversation into a verbal combat. It's a good slice of peace. Very good slice of peace. And when I think about it, over the years, and maybe it's always been this way, peace has turned into an expensive commodity for the most part. Expensive commodity, a luxury for the most part. It's not necessarily the standard. And to me, it should be the standard. So peace has been replaced with consistently, for the most part, proving to someone or reminding him, for the most part, you're independent and you don't necessarily favor him. So we think about, where are the good men gone? Where are the good men? They're still here, but they desire something that hasn't been coming towards them. That's peace. Simple peace. Therefore, there's plenty of good men, for the most part, have decided to forego relationships and marriage. No, we're not stepping into relationships now as easy as we once did in the past. We're not looking at marriage as something we should be doing. And a lot of that goes back to that simple word, peace. Think about that for a second. Now, men that are in marriages and in relationships are pondering, might be a surprise to you, leaving. If peace is not available, if peace is not there, in the back of their mind, I'll let you know, a lot of them are thinking about leaving. Now, they may not execute it because the statistics say that more women apply for divorce than men do. But honestly speaking, if peace is not there in the home and he's not coming home to peace, that cat is thinking about leaving. Now, he may not step in and do such, but it's been thoughts in his mind. A quiet man is thinking all the time. He's thinking. And basically, breakups, divorce don't happen overnight. You just don't wake up one morning and go, you know what, I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with this anymore. It takes time. It builds over a period of time. And think about this for a second. He's trying to lead, but he's being challenged. He tries to stay loyal, but if he stays loyal, a lot of times she looks at him and think he's boring. He speaks up. He's called a manipulator. Plenty of young men are going to the bar, not to cheat, not necessarily to party, simply to avoid going home. I work with men, for the most part, that'll work long hours, set their time at work just to avoid being home when she's home. Think about that for a second, if you can. They're setting their work schedule around the time where they have to spend less time around her. Chaos has been substitute for peace. Because if you can't go home and feel comfortable and feel peace at home, where are you going to go? A bar is not going to bring that to you. The strip club is not going to give that to you. Where are you going to go get peace? Your job should not be a place of peace. Your home. The old saying is a man's home is his castle. Let's not even get to the word king and queen, but think about that for a second. If the castle is not bringing you peace, if it's not offering you peace, why you want to spend time there? And when you can't basically go home and have peace, what do you have? It should be a place of comfort, a place of solace, a place to feel safe, a place to feel wanted, welcome, peace. Now, people are challenged to go back and forth. Well, he's blah blah blah. I'm not hearing that none of that in this conversation. We're not talking about that. Not at all. Because for a man, for the most part, if you give it some thought, it's a place he's helped acquire. Now, she may have contributed to it as well, but a place he helped acquire. And at the same time, he's paying, but he's reluctant to go. Let that run through the mindscape for a little while. Yeah. Peace doesn't live there. It doesn't exist. So good men seek peace. It could be in the gym, it could be in the grind, it could be with their dog. From time to time, it could be another woman. Yeah, it could be another show we talk about. But strong women are welcome to believe it or not, that their softness is what he desires. And that's not saying you can't be strong and be soft at the same time. But men desire softness. They may never speak it. They may not basically come around and say, damn it, I need you to be softer. But your softness will attract him. It's like a magnet, will bring him to you, will bring him home. And there's a way to be soft and strong at the same time. Yes, it's a balance, but it can be acquired. And that's what, to me, should be the objectivity for the most part. So when you say good men, where are the good men? No, they're right in front of you. But what are you presenting to them? What are you offering? Are you offering chaos? Are you offering drama? Are you offering a place where he's going to feel comfortable when he walks through the door? When he walks through the door and coming home, are you rolling your eyes at him for the most part, like he doesn't live here? Are you rushing to basically challenge him for the most part, not caring about his day? Not those things. Where's the peace? Where is the peace? Remember the old commercial, Wendy's commercial? Where's the beef? Where's the peace? Where's the peace? So, for some of these reasons and others, good men are vanishing. For the most part, good men don't want to lead anymore. And it's not that they don't feel necessary that they should be leading, but it's like, why are you trying to fight and lead when someone that's with you working against you? It's like you're trying to pull in one direction and they're basically trying to pull in the opposite direction, that resistance. And at some point, you start to think to yourself, is it worthy of just basically trying to? Now, some men basically, for the most part, just going to exist. They're just going to kind of roll with it. But I'll go back to what I said earlier. The thought process is there about leaving because at the end of the day, that's what men desire, that's what we want, and that's what we need. We have to go out and do certain things into the world. And those things require us to basically be at our best full strength, ready to attack, ready to do what's necessary. So when we're basically doing those things, we need a place of shelter to come back to. And we need that place to offer peace, our sanctuary. And when it doesn't, where are we going? Where are we going? Now, I spoke of the word lead a little while ago, and I want to go back to that because why try to lead a woman when she doesn't necessarily want to follow? Why try to protect a woman when she basically gonna call it controlling? Why try to basically be at home with a woman when she's basically, in a sense, trying to kick you out, not making a comfortable place for you? And there's something to me that's genuine about a home. You know, you could take a house and you could put a man in it, and a man could do certain things. Don't get me wrong, he could try to decorate, he could do certain things, but it's not fully a home until she comes in and make it a home. And that's not spoken often, but men think this way. There's certain things that she brings and she does or touches, the way she handles the house, she turns into a home that you want to be in. And for a man that can have that, that's better than a lottery ticket. Much better than a lottery ticket. You know, good men are being tired to compared to other men. For the most part, their good men are being tired of being compared to your ex, your boss, your friend's husband, couples you see on social media. We're not trying to line up with that. And why should we? We are who we are for the most part. So if you have someone in your life for the most part that doing what's necessary and you chose to be with them, why not make them feel comfortable? Why not basically do things that's going to align with his peace? Good question, I would think. Maybe get some answers also. And here's a funny rub in a sense. A lot of times, let's go back to the dating perspective in a sense. A man could basically plan a dinner and, you know, we just want to have a good night out. Let's go to dinner. She's thinking proposal. She's thinking proposal. Is he worthy of being XYZ? And for a lot of times, when he brings logic to a situation, we're just saying, let's just use it as an example. I just want to go enjoy a meal. I don't want to be evaluated whether I'm husband material. No, let's go enjoy a meal together. Let's enjoy good company together. Let's have good vibe, good energy together. And from there, that logic, he's thinking, if he was to say this in a situation, he's called negative. He's looked at in a negative way. No, the logic to him is just peacefulness. Let's go enjoy a good meal, good conversation, have a good time. So there again, peace plays a strong part in what we do, what we want, what we desire as men. And men, let's stop acting like it doesn't. Let's stop being afraid to call it out when it's not there. You know, basically, let's stop it because when you do that, you're allowing yourself not to have peace. You're playing into it. And she can't really adjust if you're not bringing it to the forefront and letting her know. Now, if you're going to bring it to the forefront and she chooses not to adjust, then you got some questions to basically answered. But stop acting like you don't desire it. Stop acting like it's not necessary. Don't play into it when it's not there. Don't shoot and jive and act like it's not important to you when you know damn well it is. And a lot of us men are doing that. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. You're a man. The things that you need in your life, you should be able to ask for and demand it for the most part. And peace to me is not a big price to pay when you think about it. It's not. So basically, good man doesn't want to basically just exist anymore. No, he doesn't want to have to explain. He doesn't want to fight to be understood. Basically, he wants to be accepted and offered comfort and peace. And again, that's not a lot to ask for when you think about it. It's not. So when you say basically where the good man at, a lot of men have removed themselves emotionally just to survive, just to survive. So if that doesn't work, they remove themselves totally away from you just to have themselves to be alone. And we're going to do a show on being alone soon for the most part because some men are afraid to be alone. But again, I'll go back to the beginning of what we started with peace. It should not be a luxury, it should be the standard. And yes, he should offer you the same thing. But peace, it's amazing. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. It calms the waters, it calms the seas.